After 40 years, my wife finally confessed the truth, an inspirational marriage story set in America. I never imagined that the most shocking moment of my life would come after 40 years of marriage. Not when our children were born, not when we bought our first house, not even when I nearly lost my job during the recession. No, it came on an ordinary autumn evening in our quiet home in Ohio, America. The kind of evening where nothing extraordinary is supposed to happen. And the leaves outside had turned golden. Retirement had slowed life down for us. Our children were grown, living their own lives in different states. The house that once echoed with laughter, arguments, slammed doors, and teenage music had become painfully quiet. Just me and Margaret, my wife, my companion of 40 years. So we had met in college in the late 1970s. She studied nursing. I studied engineering. She laughed easily back then. Her laughter filled rooms. I remember telling my best friend, "That's the woman I will marry." And I did. We built life the American way. Student loans, 2 jobs. Late night bills spread across the kitchen table. There were months when choosing groceries felt harder than choosing dreams. But we survived. Together. Marriage was never perfect. Nobody tells young couples that love changes form. At first, love is fire. Later, it becomes responsibility. Then sacrifice. Then endurance. And sometimes, silence. There were seasons we barely spoke. Work stress followed me home. Margaret carried exhaustion from hospital night shifts. We argued about money, parenting, in-laws, time. Sometimes about things so small, we later forgot why we fought at all. Yet every morning, coffee waited for me. Every winter, she reminded me to wear a coat. Every sickness, she stayed awake beside me. Love stopped being loud, but it never left, or so I thought. That evening, Margaret sat across from me, unusually quiet. Her hands trembled slightly. After 40 years, you learn your spouse's silences. This one felt heavy. Different. She said softly, "John, there's something I should have told you a long time ago." I laughed lightly. At our age, what secret could still matter? She didn't smile. And suddenly, I felt afraid. She looked at me with eyes carrying decades. Then she said words that froze time itself. "I almost left you 35 years ago." The room went still. My heart pounded. All the memories I trusted suddenly felt fragile. She continued, "It was when the children were small, when you worked double shifts. I remembered that time. I was chasing promotions, trying to be a provider, trying to be a good husband by being absent. I felt invisible," she said. "You came home tired? You stopped listening? I felt like a roommate raising children alone." Her voice broke. And someone noticed me. Every husband knows that moment. The moment fear enters your chest. She met him at the hospital, another doctor, kind, present. He asked how she was doing. He listened. He remembered small things, things I had stopped noticing. "I didn't plan it," she whispered. "But emotional loneliness is dangerous." They talked, shared lunches, long conversations after shifts. Nothing physical happened. But emotionally, she had already stepped away from our marriage. I felt anger rise, pain, betrayal. 40 years. And I was just hearing this. Then she said something that changed everything. I packed a suitcase one night. My breath stopped. The kids were asleep. I stood at the door ready to leave. She wiped tears. But our daughter walked into the hallway half asleep and said, "Mommy, are you going somewhere?" Margaret broke down crying. And I realized I wasn't just leaving you. I was breaking a family. She unpacked the suitcase. ended the friendship, and never spoke of it again. For 35 years, she carried that secret alone. I sat there unable to speak. Part of me felt wounded. Another part felt ashamed. Because deep inside, I knew she wasn't lying. I had disappeared emotionally back then. Marriage doesn't collapse in one day. It erodes quietly, through neglect, through assumptions, through thinking love will survive without attention. I finally asked, "Why tell me now?" She held my hand. "Because we survived. And I never want to leave this world hiding truth from the man I chose every single day afterward." That sentence shattered me. She had stayed. Not because marriage was easy, but because commitment became stronger than emotion. We cried together that night, two elderly people rediscovering honesty. And for the first time in decades, we talked about everything: our disappointments, loneliness, dreams we buried, forgiveness we never voiced. I realized something powerful. Marriage is not the absence of temptation. It is the decision, again and again, to stay. In America today, many marriages end not because love dies, but because conversations do. People walk away before truth has a chance to heal. Margaret didn't confess to hurt me. She confessed to free us. And strangely, I loved her more afterward, not less. Because real love is not perfection. It is choosing each other after seeing the flaws. That night we sat on the porch watching falling leaves. 40 years behind us, unknown years ahead. I told her, "If you had left, my life would have collapsed." She smiled softly. "But I didn't." And that is marriage. Not two perfect people, but two imperfect souls who refuse to quit at the same time. Lessons after 40 years. I learned. Sometimes your spouse is fighting loneliness beside you. Providing financially is not the same as being present emotionally. Silence can wound deeper than arguments. Forgiveness keeps love alive longer than passion ever can. Today, every morning, I still make coffee. But now I sit with her. I listen, really listen, because love in old age is built from conversations we finally learn to have. If you are married, talk tonight. Ask questions, hold hands, apologize if needed. Because sometimes the person beside you stayed after fighting battles you never even